Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Lululemon. It is time for another update, and on this chart, we actually got 20% downside overnight. It is still in the pre-market phase, but we are most likely opening around that area anyway, and I will get in a moment to why it shouldn't be really a surprise to you if you have been following this channel. But before that, quickly on the long time frame. In my opinion, my preferred interpretation is that here we are tracking a double 1 2 1 2 setup, and then I would expect this wave 2 to find support and start a reversal from somewhere in this area between the $187 level down to the $64 level at a 78.6% retracement. There is an alternative count where this could be a fourth wave that developed, could have started here or here, but to be honest, especially with this newest downside, I much prefer the idea that this is a wave 2 that is developing, and it even allows for a much deeper retracement without invalidating any really any ideas. But now on the mid time frame here, we have been tracking this correction in a wave 2 as an ABC pattern that is still in development. And normally for a wave C, we would expect the ideal target to be at the 100% extension, and in this case, for this ABC pattern, it would have been at the $184 level. We didn't reach that previously. We reacted and found support at the 38.2% retracement, and yeah, we were on track to get to there anyway. But in fact, in the case of this C wave, I was expecting, and I even told you, that's why I'm saying that this downside shouldn't really be a surprise, that here in the mid time frame, based on how long this wave 1 within the C wave was, we were really expecting a much deeper retracement overall in this C wave, because in a third wave, the ideal target for a third wave is the 138.2% extension of the wave 1, and in the case of this 1-2 setup, that would be at the $150.5 level, and we haven't even gotten there even with this 20% drop. So yes, based on what we are tracking here, we are still expecting continuation to the downside, and even though it didn't play out in the micro count that we are tracking here, that this could have been an A wave down, this would have been a B wave up, and then the C wave to push there anyway. That's what we were previously tracking, and that what I showed you as a possibility in the previous video. The idea on the larger count within this C wave was that the third wave would get to the 138.2% extension, and that was the target for the third wave, and still is. Now, in this C wave to the downside, we are tracking an ending diagonal, and in that case, it means, or in this case, in any case really, that means that we are tracking an ABC pattern in wave 1, 3, and 5 as well. And yeah, it turns out that we didn't really go through the route where this is a wave A down, a wave B up, and then we are getting the C wave down. And instead, we are finishing this third wave most likely in one go, where this is a wave A, this is a wave B, and now we are still in the C wave to the downside. Now, how this count actually plays out within this C wave that is developing to the downside could differ a little. I could say that this is a 1 2 1 2, and then this could be a third, this could be a fourth, and then this would be the fifth wave down, and then we would still expect another 4 or 5 actually to complete a 5-wave move within this internal C wave of the third wave. But it doesn't matter too much. As I was saying, we are focusing mostly on the larger time frame, and that suggests for this third wave that the target is the 138.2% extension, the $150 level again. But considering that this could be a plausible scenario, could be slightly different, could be a wave 1, a wave 2, this could be all a third wave that is still developing, and then we could get a fourth and a fifth. Doesn't matter. As I was saying, we will need to wait for more structure, and then we can track more and better the smaller time frame. But for now, the smaller time frame, very inconsequential, and yeah, let's, I suppose, use this interpretation for now, where we are looking for a first fifth wave down within the larger third wave. But what I am really focusing on is this third wave, and then yes, we are still expecting continuation to the downside even then, because the overall target for a wave C, or not the target, the overall idea for a wave C is that it is a 5-wave move. So after we complete this third wave, we are still looking for a wave 4 and then for a 5th wave to the downside. Now, that will quite possibly reach the 50% retracement. That is a very strong level of support in this case, especially because after this drop, this massive drop, we had a very strong reversal to the upside. So I expect a lot of buy power in this area. Yeah, especially around the 50% retracement down to, let's say, even the 161%, 161.8% extension. So between the $137 down to the $130 level would be a pretty good area to end this overall C wave to the downside. And for now, there isn't much else to focus on. As I was saying, we are still waiting for additional structure, and a 20% drop overnight is basically zero structure provided by the chart, because yeah, there could be, we could look at the extended hours, but that is generally low volume, and high spread isn't very reliable to track. But overall, we are still tracking continuation to the downside. This shouldn't have been a surprise, and it shouldn't be a surprise to follow even lower still. In my opinion, it really could be that this correction ends early, that maybe the count is slightly different, where we aren't necessarily in an ABC, but I find pretty high probabilities that we will still trend lower. But if you really want to enter a position, keep in mind we did reach the overall support zone. We are within the support zone. So for the long time frame, this is an area of accumulation. So if you want and are interested, you could start accumulating even in the area we are currently in. As we trend lower, you could increase your position size. I told you my opinion. I think the 50% retracement would be also a very good area, but we didn't get there yet, and we may not get there overall. But for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.